Looking through the eyes is the right one, or listening through the ears is the right one? There are trillions of musical instruments in your body. Some are silent, some are articulate. The silent ones are not just purely silent, they have their functions. Every gene and every cell is a musical instrument. People study them out there in the lab, but never tune into this music of silence that goes on. The intangible behind the tangibles. The inaudible behind the audibles. The subtler than the subtle is one dimension of the experience of this pure, unadulterated consciousness, more expansive than all of outer space, trillions upon trillions of light years, more expansive than all of that space, is also the stillness of your consciousness. And these are not my words. I say nothing of my own. These are the texts with which I have been brought up from my childhood, that I have read, that are my reality. My internal mental language from which I speak and share. More expansive than all of these trillions of light years of space, will allow me the phrase that is used in the Sanskrit texts, Ananta Koti Brahmanda, uncountable trillion universes. The expanse of your consciousness is more vast than all of that space. One day, you will find your Bodhi tree. You know the Bodhi tree? The tree of enlightenment under which the Prince Siddhartha sat for 49 days and 49 nights, absolutely still. I shall not rise till enlightenment is reached. And millions of people make pilgrimage to that tree. And all the countries of Asia have taken twigs from that tree and planted them in their own countries. Someday you will find your Bodhi tree. You may not have to always have to sit 49 days and 49 nights. Let's hope. In that space of enlightenment, I assure you, all of that expanse is experienced as you. It has its ethical dimensions. In the literatures of India, there is a convention that when the king is a tyrant, the entire nature becomes unbalanced. The rains do not fall on time. hurricanes and famines, the rivers dry up, the grain does not grow, the herbs lose their potency. In the description of every hero, when it is shown in that vast literature of past 5,000 years, when the hero finally wins and sits on the throne, it says, and all nature came to perfect balance, and the famine stopped, and the hurricanes stopped, and the rains fell on time, and the breezes blew softly. Perhaps it is something you cannot scientifically prove, but maybe you can. Because in the traditions of yoga, we do not acknowledge the existence of an individual mind. Please bear that in mind. We do not acknowledge the existence of an individual mind. We only recognize universal mind. There's one single current of electricity from which this light bulb is lit and this light bulb is lit. One field of the light of consciousness in which this light bulb is lit and all these light bulbs are lit. And if there is an imbalance in one corner of that electrical field, there will be imbalance throughout. So every thought that you throw out, that you broadcast from your private radio station, doesn't even need an antenna, affects the entire universal mind, be it the mind of a parrot, the mind of a butterfly, or the mind of a tree. Leave alone the mind of someone in Tibet or the mind of someone in Washington or Moscow. It is the same as they say, one flutter of a butterfly's wing in Beijing or in Brazil creates a storm over New York. It's a mental butterfly. So in yoga, the first thing we teach is thought exercises. Sometimes when I train our teachers, I tell them, don't bother to do the postures. Sit down. Imagine yourself doing the postures. Just visualize. In the posture you are having a difficulty with, you do it in your mind a few times. And it will come flowing because mind will move your body. It has been shown in modern neurological researches also